people on so many specialized diets right now, and you might be missing major nutritional, what would you call it, foundational?
Nutrition gaps.
There's gaps.
There's nutrition
and you're going to
gaps.
fill the gaps.
We are.
Andrea Donsky is here to help us through. We're going to begin with this category, which is the dairy-free diet.
That is.
Okay.
And the reason why there are no nutrition gaps is because our soil is deficient in minerals.
Okay.
And these are minerals that our bodies need.
Yeah, so what do we do instead? So this is people who have cut out, obviously, cheese,
Milk, yogurt, exactly. So people avoid dairy for different reasons. One, because they might feel better. They might have less, exactly, they might have less inflammation, or they have to avoid it because they have an allergy or they're lactose intolerant. Now, dairy is synonymous with getting enough calcium and vitamin D.
For your bone health.
For your bone health.
Yeah.
But the good news is that a lot of the nutrition in dairy is found in other foods as well.
Okay.
So we're going to put things into perspective. Adults need about 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day.
Okay.
So a cup of milk and 6 ounces of yogurt have 300 milligrams of calcium, so about a third of our daily requirements.
Oh, only a third?
A third. So what we can do is we can replace that, if you're on a dairy-free diet, with things like a half a cup of cooked kale. That'll have about the same amount. Half a can of sardines has about the same amount, as well as sesame seeds, chia seeds, and almonds.
So this here would be your daily allowance?
Pretty much.
Okay,
a little
so
bit
that's
over
doable.
even.
Yeah, because there's quite a bit of chia seeds.
Yeah.
All right, and then the salmon?
So our body needs vitamin D to help absorb calcium. So you can eat things like egg yolks, mushrooms, or fatty fish like salmon and herring. But if you don't like those type of foods, or if you need extra vitamin D, because most of us are deficient in vitamin D, what you can do is you could supplement with a vitamin D supplement.
So take it with a fatty food.
So you could take it with your fatty food, exactly.
Like have the vitamin D and then have a couple of almonds.
Yeah,
for better
exactly. Yeah, you want to
absorption.
eat it with fatty food, exactly, because it's a fat-soluble vitamin.
And eat your yolks, guys. Enough with the egg whites and the you
Eat
need the
everything
yolks.
together, exactly.
Yes.
That's where a lot of nutrition is. So what you could do is Carlson has a line of vitamin D supplements. This is our Super Daily D3. What I like about it is that it's a liquid, and you could take 3 to 4 drops a day. Each drop has 1,000 IUs of vitamin D. So adults can take 4,000 IUs safely, and kids could take about 2,000. It has no taste, so there's no aftertaste.
Perfect. Now, this is for people who are
gluten-free.
Gluten-free.
Right. So when it comes to gluten-free eating, this interesting statistics. 6% of Canadians are gluten sensitive,
okay.
whereas 7 million Canadians avoid gluten for other reasons.
Okay.
So when it comes to gluten-free, these are examples of gluten grains. For example, wheat, spelt, and you have barley.
Yeah.
Gluten-free grains are quinoa, buckwheat, and millet.
So what are they lacking in? How do they put it back in?
Right. So the nutritional gaps could be fiber, iron, and vitamins B and D.
Okay.
Okay, so these are what's important. So you can replace your white rice with brown rice. You can throw some lentils onto some spinach if you want your iron. And if you like hummus, chickpeas have vitamin B.
Which is very good for you.
Which is B.
The greens.
Right, so one of the categories where we could be deficient and lack that nutrition is the snacking category if you're gluten-free.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a healthy gluten-free snack for yourself or your kids, Made Good is a great option because all of their bars are made with 1 serving of vegetables. So you're getting those nutrition gaps, right? So you're not lacking it.
Just sneak it in, they'll never know.
They'll sneak it in, exactly. They're also made with whole grains, and they're organic, they're non-GMO, so they're a great, healthy, gluten-free option.
That really
and they're
helps.
school safe, which is great.
Plant-based diets. More and more people are actually adhering to them.
Right. So, I mean, there are a lot of health benefits. So people who follow plant-based diets are also known as a vegan diet.
Yeah.
There are animal welfare benefits, there are health benefits, environmental benefits, and more of us, about 40% of us, are including vegan foods in every meal.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is really great.
What's the gap?
So the gap is really vitamin B12. We really want to make sure, because B12 is found mostly in animal foods. There are a couple of plant-based options like nutritional yeast and almond milk where they'll fortify it with vitamin B12.
Guys, this is so good. I sprinkle this on everything.
Oh, it's so
good on
right?
vegetables. It's
a
on
vegan
popcorn.
cheese. It's
a vegan
amazing.
cheese.
Exactly. So you want to make sure you get your B12 because if you're deficient in B12, it can lead to anemia and nerve damage. So that's really important. Some other nutrients as well is you want to make sure you're getting enough iron. Luckily, there's an abundance of iron in plant-based foods, and your omega-3s, important for our hair, our skin, our nails, our brain health, and our heart health.
Which are normally in the salmons
and the fish,
sardines.
exactly.
Okay.
So there are plant-based options like flaxseed oil, flax seeds, and walnuts.
Andrea Donsky, always filling the gap. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you're not going to brag. I'm going to do it for you. She just swept how many awards in the States?
I brought Shifter of the Year in the U.S. and top 100 health influencers in Canada.
Yes,
really
because
exciting.
you're amazing.
Oh,
Donsky,
oh
put that one on the board. She's our medalist.